And if you don't mind me saying, Andrea, if I may call you that, quite a big Rishi Sunak critic. You're one of, I think, only Tory MPs to have admitted submitting letters of no confidence. Is that the wisest idea? We just had Martin Townsend talking on the papers about it being sort of turkeys voting for Christmas. How will it help at this late stage to replace the Prime Minister?
I mean, I gave it a lot of thought back in November when I submitted it, and what you see is what you get with me, Camilla.
Sure.
And I believed in going public about that. And I think that it is less chance saloon. We've seen the polls. We've seen how things are difficult for the party. It's like one of the lowest polls. We're just hemorrhaging votes and we're not cutting through to the electorate. So I think less chance saloon. What have we got to lose, Camilla?
How many letters do you think have been submitted?
I mean, look, let's face it, Graham Braid is the only one that knows. But I mean, when I last calculated, because people, since I put my letter in, lots of people coming up to me telling me, oh, we've done the same, well done on you. And I got, in my count of people telling me that was over 30, but this was weeks ago. So I think we must be nearer to 40 now.
And then if you, I mean, it could be that you accidentally trigger a no confidence vote, and then the vote itself, even if he wins it, could be sort of fatal, because when a Prime Minister is challenged this close to a general election, of course you have to replace. But do you not understand the notion of the criticisms around, you know, too much regicide, that at the end of the day, yeah, you're in a desperately difficult situation, but that changing leader now will be just catastrophic? And
look, the thing I want most of all is us to be more conservative. I mean, we're not cutting through in the red wall seats like mine. And we need more common sense conservative policies. I mean, some of the things in the budget, £1 million for a monument when people are struggling.
But who would you have instead then? Because there's lots of talk about different candidates sort of jockeying for position. We've discussed Penny Mordaunt. You wouldn't want to see her leading the party, I take it?
I mean, look, I mean, Penny, I know Penny. She's a lovely lady. We've just got completely different politics.
So. You don't think she's conservative enough?
I'd like to see somebody who's more conservative, definitely.
OK, so Suella Braverman then?
I like Suella, I like Pretty, I like Jacob. I mean, I'd bring Boris back tomorrow, Camilla. He's still been top in the polls.
Well, are you in communication with Boris? What's Boris thinking right now? Does he want to come back?
I mean, I'm not going to divulge private conversations, but no. I mean, Boris and Carrie are friends. I've got a lot of respect for them.
OK, so you're in regular contact with Boris?
I am in contact with them.
OK,
recently,
and what do we think his thinking is around coming back and at least campaigning in the general election?
I mean, regarding the campaigning, I mean, the stuff that was got put out there, it certainly would. I mean, the fact is, I know that Boris and Rishi haven't spoken for over a year. So Boris has not been party to any of these conversations. OK,
but there was a talk, I think somebody had suggested that Boris would be amenable to coming back and campaigning, but Rishi needed to call him first.
Well, I think you need to ask Boris that. Camilla.
But you want to see him, if he were to come back and lead the party, how could that feasibly happen? I mean, I wrote a piece a couple of weeks ago about a sort of trying to take Henley back. You know, could he run in Henley? Where could he run? How could it work?
I mean, he'd have to get past CCHQ, wouldn't he?
And would he?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be pretty awful if they didn't allow a former Prime Minister to stand. But that's what he'd have to do. But the most important thing to me, I want to see common sense politics. I want to see us roll back on net zero. I mean, the millions of pounds of spending on that, I just think is ridiculous. People are struggling and they don't want to see these vanity projects.